Clayton Kershaw is 8 Ks away from 3K. We've got the latest Dodgers rumors, the latest Dodgers roster moves. Also, we know when Shohei Ohtani will make his next starting pitching appearance. All that more coming up next on a jam-packed episode of Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You guys ready to parade? We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Milky Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you really want to support the show, hit that like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Today's poll question of the show, I asked you guys over on the X. Clayton Kershaw, 8 strikeouts away from 8K. Will he get 8 strikeouts away from 3K? Will he get 8 strikeouts today to enter that exclusive 3,000 strikeouts club? Well, right now, 32% of you say yes, while 68% of you say no. Drop those comments down below. Let us know. What do you guys think? We want all your takes on all things Dodger baseball. We got Noel, producer extraordinaire, rocking with us. He'll be looking for all your questions, all your comments, all your hot takes. We'll feature those during the show and later in the 7th inning stretch. We've got an afternoon game in Colorado. So we got to breeze through this one, a 12:10 Pacific first pitch in Denver. So we got lots of Dodger baseball to get into. So let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So the hottest story in Dodger baseball is that after last night's win for LA, the Dodgers are now sitting at 50 wins on the year. The Dodgers, the first team in the National League to get to that 50-win plateau, and they're right there with the Detroit Tigers for the best record in baseball, sitting at 50-31, halfway through the season, on pace to win 100 games. So after all that, after everyone wanted to press the panic button, after a Dodgers team that has fought through injuries all season long, LA as a team, they have missed their players in 1,065 games. The most games missed by a player, the most games missed by players per team in Major League Baseball this season. The Dodgers at 1,065. That's the most in all of Major League Baseball. Second most is the Orioles at 786. So the Dodgers, their players have missed more games than any team in the entire Major League Baseball, and they're still at 50 wins. This is a Dodgers team that has been without their top free agent signing pitcher in Blake Snell, who's made just 2 starts. Tyler Glasnow has only made 5 starts. He's missed most of the season. Roki Sasaki, the #1 prospect in all of Major League Baseball, he has not lived up to his hype, to his potential as of yet. You've been without Blake Trinan and Evan Phillips and Brusdar Graterol. Freddie Freeman was dealing with an ankle injury early on. Mookie Betts had a stomach issue, and Max Muncy was slumping. Just so many different reasons why the Dodgers shouldn't lead the National League in wins, yet here we are. Here we are. And this is with a Dodgers team that has won 9 of their last 11 games, despite Freddie Freeman being 50% below league average offensively, and Mookie Betts struggling mightily as well. So you got your 2 best hitters outside of Shohei Ohtani, and Shohei in Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, struggling, yet they're still winning a ton of games. Mookie, 10 for his last 59, in 169 his last 15. Them combined hitting a little above 200, Freddie and Mookie. Yeah, you're still winning ball games. So it's a credit to this roster build by Andrew Friedman and this organization to give this team the depth that they need to be able to go out there and win games. Oh, on top of that, the Dodgers, you have used more pitchers than any team in Major League Baseball. It really is incredible when you look at what this Dodger team has been able to do this year. It really, truly is. And they've used 34 pitchers this season. That's the most in all of Major League Baseball. Yet here we are. And it only gets lighter, the schedule. Down the stretch, the Dodgers, they have the fourth easiest schedule in Major League Baseball. The fourth easiest schedule. You play the Phillies, the Astros, the Tampa Bay Rays, the Rockies, the White Sox, Pirates, Brewers, Padres, Giants, Orioles, Twins, and Royals. The easiest schedule is the Astros, and then Cleveland and Detroit are behind them. But the Dodgers, on paper, the fourth easiest schedule in Major League Baseball. This is with a couple bullpen games per week and decimated by injury. So, hey, they're in a really good spot because they're going to get healthy. The schedule lightens up, and I see this team going on a run and winning well over 100 games. But welcome into Dodgers Dugout Live, leading you up to Dodgers Rockies in Denver. David E., nice shoey last night, D-Mac. Hey, Michael Conforto truthers rise. Michael Conforto truthers, 2 consecutive games. By the way, fun fact, Michael Conforto leads the Dodgers in home runs over the last 2 games. Yes, that's a cherry-picking stat, and I'm only joking about that. Bruh. But definitely some positive signs. Now, as far as today goes, Dave Roberts said with Clayton Kershaw, he was asked about if he's going to get the 8 strikeouts to get to 3,000. And Dave Roberts said that if he would leave him in there, if he had 7 strikeouts and he was kind of dealing with any type of traffic, and Dave Roberts said, actually, I would argue there would be a temptation of taking him out and letting him do it in front of the home fans. I'm still not going to force anything. I'm going to watch the game and make my decision accordingly. So, yeah, I think if he gets close to 3,000, he's going to want to help this team win a game. And I think that Kersh, he respects the game. He doesn't want to do anything to cheat the game. And if he can get 8 strikeouts today to reach that club, I don't think that he's going to do anything to force himself to have that accomplishment at Dodgers Stadium. Now, I think it would be great for that to happen. It'd be awesome to give him his flowers in front of 50,000 Dodgers fans, and that would be excellent. But you can't cheat the game. You cannot cheat the game. You don't want to tempt those baseball gods. Anything can happen on any given pitch. If Kersh is closed today, he better go for it. I don't care. It's selfish to say, oh, I want to have that happen at Dodger Stadium. No, we need to see it as soon as it can happen. And if that means today in Coors Field, then so be it. By the way, there's only 19 pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball that have 3,000 strikeouts on their resume. That is how exclusive the 3K strikeout club, and more exclusive is the left-handed pitchers that have done it. Only 3 of the 19 members are lefties: Randy Johnson, the big unit, Steve Carlton, and CC Sabathia. And only 5 pitchers have done it with the same team. So that definitely is going to be a special moment whenever it comes. My question is, what pitch does it come on? I mean, obviously, his slider is his biggest put-away pitch, but I want to see it come on public enemy number 1, as the great Vince Scully, whose big head little thing behind me is looking at me at all times. He's kind of the North Star of this show. He dubbed it the public enemy number 1. I would think it'd be awesome to see it on the Cooperstown curve. Look at that break. Look at that. It really has been his best pitch. His curveball has been his best pitch this season. And when he does find that slider, it is going to be scary for teams out there, because Clayton Kershaw still has it. How likely is it that he gets 8K in Colorado? you never know in Colorado, right? That's where ERAs go to die. But then we saw yesterday, Yamamoto had the splitter working. He had his secondary stuff working. Now, the most strikeouts Kershaw has had this season was against the Cardinals on the road when he had 7 strikeouts and no walks. So he has had 7 strikeouts in a game in 5 innings this year. If he has his stuff working, it's possible that he gets it today. But let me know down below in the comments section, do you think that Clayton Kershaw will get to 3,000 Ks in Colorado today? Jose Aguirre says no chance out of 3 straight games with a home run for Conforto. Jose Aguirre, yeah, we'll look at that Dodgers lineup. The lineup today in Colorado, El Bencho for Michael Conforto. I was on here going to say maybe I'd do a shoey again, or I don't know what the next move would be. Maybe a shoey with a different alcoholic beverage in there. I'm not so sure, but unless he pinch hits today, they're not going to have that opportunity. The Dodgers lineup in Colorado, Shohei Ohtani batting leadoff at DH, Betts in the 2-hole at short, Will Smith batting third behind the dish, Freddie Freeman batting cleanup at first, Teoscar batting 5th and right, Andy Pajes in center batting 6th, Tommy Edman at second batting 7th, Kike Hernandez batting 8th and left, and Miguel Rojas will bat 9th at third base. So no Ha-Seong Kim, no Michael Conforto, no Max Muncy. And those are 3 guys that have been hot in the last couple of days. So not having that group out there is going to give these other guys a chance too. I mean, Mookie and Freddie, they've got to get hot. They've got to turn their little slumps around. So hopefully today is a good day for that to happen. I think it's definitely a opportunity for them. And you're just going to have these scheduled days off throughout the year. They're going to play with the lineup. It's a 162-game season. But other big news this morning, and this comes from the pregame scrum of Dave Roberts that was just minutes ago. Jack Harris tweeted out, Dave Roberts confirmed that Shohei Ohtani will make his next pitching start for the Dodgers on Saturday in Kansas City. So if you watched the show yesterday, that is what I said would happen. I said that Shohei would pitch on Saturday. That's what I heard, and that made the most sense, and now we got confirmation on that. So he will go on Saturday. Hopefully goes multiple innings. He gets the up, down, and you start to see him continue to make that progression. And, hey, it's only good news. He's bouncing back very well. He feels really good, and they're just taking it step by step with him. We got Kenny Chung. Kershaw will reach 3,000 Ks on July 2nd versus the White Sox at Dodgers Stadium. Yeah, that's the fair prediction. That's the most likely scenario. There's no doubt about that. Senior Jefe, D-Mac lives after the great Chewy. Yeah, I had a triple Chewy with some Modelo. I had to go to 7-Eleven, get a tall boy. I didn't expect it. I mean, give Conforto credit. I mean, he hit 2 of them. It was a multi-hit game, and he hit a home run. So he got both of the things I asked for. I asked for a home run and a multi-hit game. He gave me both. So shout out to Michael Conforto. And what does this mean? I mean, I think the big takeaway from Conforto is, of course, you want to see him hit. There's the bomb right there. And you look at that open stance, allowing him to use that power. It was 111 miles per hour off the bat. It was a pull side home run. All these are things that Michael Conforto does when he's right. And the question now is, if he continues to perform like this, what does this mean for Ha-Seong Kim? And I think if you're the Dodgers, it's a good problem to have. They want to be in a position where they're having to make a difficult decision on players that are performing and which guys do you actually give opportunities to. But yeah, make no mistake about it. For the Ha-Seong Kim truthers out there, when Michael Conforto performs like this, in the grand scheme of things, it does mean less playing time potentially for him. So unfortunately, that is how this goes down. But this is the plan. And let's not forget, Michael Conforto is on a 1-year contract, and Ha-Seong Kim, he's on this team for at least 3 years, possibly 5 years. So you don't necessarily need to rush things along. It's great that he's having early success, and we want to see more from him. There's no doubt about that. But a lot like Roki Sasaki, I mean, there's not this desperation in year one for him to be this prominent guy on this team. It's great if it does happen, but if it doesn't happen, you don't have to worry about, oh, he's going to go to another team. I think you got to be reminded of that. Now, another guy I want to talk about before we get to some Dodgers rumors in our next segment is Max Muncy. Max Muncy has absolutely turned his season around. I mean, his in-season turnaround has been one of the most dramatic in all of Major League Baseball this season. He's been the Dodgers' best hitter in the month of June. In June, he's hitting .328 with an 1101 OPS. The power numbers are up, 6 home runs, a triple and a double. He's hit a grand slam in 2 of his last 3 games. And now I think the question for Max Muncy is, well, he's coming back, right? He's certainly going to be back with his team. There's no way the Dodgers let him get away after the year that he's putting together, because you can turn your season around in a heartbeat if you go on the kind of tear that Max Muncy's been on. And there was some concern that he had gotten so deep into the season that maybe even if he did produce towards the second half, that his first half numbers would have been so low that he wouldn't have been able to recover. But the tear that he's been on, the heater that he's been on, has allowed him to do just that. If you look at where Max Muncy sits right now, as far as overall offensive production for third baseman in Major League Baseball, Max Muncy is right near the top. He is right up in that upper echelon of third baseman when it comes to weighted runs created plus. He has a 139 weighted runs created plus this season, not just June, the entire season now. And that's only behind 2 third basemen all of baseball, Manny Machado and Jose Ramirez. So he's right in that. He's ahead of Isaac Paredes. He's ahead of Eugenio Suarez. He's ahead of Matt Chapman. He's ahead of Austin Riley and Junior Caminero. He's ahead of Nolan Arenado. And like I said, if we need to fill out the Max Muncy apology form, we can go ahead and do that. You guys, if you need to fill out that form, the Max Muncy apology form, now is going to be the time. Because the talk this offseason was, do you go with Nolan Arenado and maybe move Max Muncy to another position? Do you find a way to move off of him? Well, so far this season, if you compare Max Muncy to Nolan Arenado, well, frankly, there is no comparison. Muncy, 75 games. Arenado, 74 games. Home runs, Muncy 11, Arenado 10. RBIs, Muncy 45, Arenado 39. Batting average, I don't use that as a big indicator of success for an offensive player as much as some people do. Arenado's got him by 1 point at 247, but OPS, Muncy 814, Arenado 708. OPS plus 130 to 96. Weighted runs created plus 139 to 95. In overall WAR, Muncy's at 2.5 and Arenado's at 1.2. And then you look at the contract, Arenado, you would owe him still around the $60 million mark if you would bring him in. Max Muncy has a $10 million club option for next season. When we interviewed him a couple weeks ago, we asked him if he wanted to retire a Dodger. He said yes. He also said he wanted to play multiple seasons. So the big takeaway for me, big picture at 10,000 feet, is will the Dodgers get a deal done on a multi-year contract for Max Muncy, or just bring him back on that $10 million club option? Because I know he does not want to come back on that $10 million club option. Based on the year he's had, he can get a multi-year deal. He's 35 next season, so he still has a couple years. You look at what Justin Turner was getting when he was 36 and that age. Muncy really has to hope that they are going to rip that thing off, because the 2026 club option, there's no buyout. There's no buyout in that deal. So big picture, I definitely think that that Max Muncy is going to. We got the D-Mac. You kept saying give Muncy till June, and now he's hot again. Look, I mean, it's a long season, and you got to be patient with these guys. You can't just be prisoner of the moment. Oh, this guy's bad. Let's send him to another team. Let's trade him for a bucket of baseballs and a half-eaten bag of Doritos and a better parking space. You can't do that with these guys that have had success throughout their careers. Max Muncy is the latest example of that. So some other roster moves that were made today in Colorado. Luis Garcia is back. And Luis Garcia, I mean, I never thought that in a million years I would say this. Where would this team be without Luis Garcia? I mean, when you look at Luis Garcia, he was kind of an afterthought, a veteran pitcher, guy who's 38. And yeah, his numbers don't blow you away, right? A 4.50 ERA, a negative WAR, 26 innings, though. It's the innings. It's the moments that he's been able to eat. And look, all these guys that have been able to give you longer stretches at this stage in this pen have been valuable to this team. And he has been activated. He's in Colorado. He had a really nice rehab where it wasn't long. It was just one rehab appearance, and he is going to be beneficial to this team just because, hey, he's a fresh arm too. They activate Luis Garcia off the injured list. He missed 25 games with the right adductor strain, and the corresponding move, he replaces Will Klein, who was optioned to AAA Oklahoma City. Klein pitched the last 2 innings yesterday. Really liked what I saw from Will Klein. You saw some nice strikeouts, pumping 98. I think he's a guy that's going to still help this team down the road. And Garcia, like I said, numbers are eye-popping. 4.50 ERA, 4.86 expected ERA, 23 strikeouts, 11 walks in 26 innings of work. And he's someone that they're just going to have him, like I said, Yohan Ramirez type, right? He's one of those Yohan Ramirez types that eats innings, gets a World Series ring, hopefully, and it goes on his merry way. He pitched in 1 minor league rehab game. He had a scoreless first inning and 1 strikeout, gave 1 hit for Loe Rancho Cucamonga this past Sunday. So good to see Luis Garcia back, but I will say Klein showed me something. He's pitched twice since he was called up on Friday, went 3 2/3 innings in his 2 appearances combined. So that was very, very encouraging. And then probably the most encouraging thing from yesterday, as far as in the world of Dodger baseball and pitching, was Emmet Sheehan was absolutely lights out. Emmet Sheehan was incredible in his rehab. What do you want to call it? I mean, it's technically not a rehab, obviously, but it is a buildup from what I've been told, is that, hey, they didn't want to throw him in Colorado. They didn't want to do that to him on his second start back. He wanted to give him some time to build up. And yesterday, he was absolutely outstanding. He went 6, not no hit, not scoreless. He went 6 perfecto, 6 perfect innings, had 13 punch outs, made 73 pitches. And the earliest he can return to the Dodgers, unless there's an injury, is on July 4th in the series against the Astros when they come to town. So that is extremely encouraging. 18 up, 18 down for Emmet Sheehan. 13 punch outs. A perfect outing for him. I mean, that is explosive stuff. And he's even bigger than he was. Dave Roberts has talked about the physicality. Sheehan has talked about how he's put on weight. And you're seeing it reflected in the performance. Sheehan yesterday, that 4-seam fastball, it topped out at 98.4 miles per hour. It sat at 97.3 miles per hour. The spin was also above average, had 2657 RPM, average over 25 on that spin, and the slider was lights out. So many whiffs on that slider, 100% whiff rate. The changeup was in there too. It was just, I mean, he looked like a man amongst boys yesterday. That's how good Emmet Sheehan looked. And this is another guy that you have to keep into your thoughts when you look at the big picture of this starting rotation. And we're going to talk about the picture that everyone wants to talk about as a trade target in the next segment. But Emmet Sheehan, not only is the stuff appear to be more explosive and better, but the command is eye-popping. It's so impressive. He has come back and has only walked one hitter in his rehab starts and his one start in the show since returning. It's the third outing that he's made. He has not walked a single batter. That is how good he's been. The command's been great. The stuff's been electric. And look, Glasnow, Snell, all these guys you want back, they're ahead of him in the pecking order, right? But if those guys, for whatever reason, can't go, if down the line, Emmet Sheehan is certainly someone that, from a talent standpoint, looks like he's ready to take a big leap forward in his career. That's how good he is. He's got the stuff that plays up in the postseason. I was told that he has the most explosive fastball in the organization. It's not because of velocity. It's because of the ride, the run, and the movement. So Emmet Sheehan, hey, this is the real deal. This is the guy to take note and buy stock from right now, Emmet Sheehan. But coming up next, it's Thursday, and Thursday are Dodgers rumors around the league. I know you guys love your baseball rumors. The hot stove is heating up just a little bit. Trade deadline's right around the corner, and we're talking about it next on Dodgers Dugout Live. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation Podcast Network, your front row seat to everything Dodgers all season long. Home of the #1 Dodgers podcast in the world, Dodgers Dugout Live, hosted by me, Doug McKain. Friends call me D-Mac, and we cover everything about your boys in blue, everything you need to know about Dodger baseball in less than an hour. We've got breaking news, post-game breakdowns, roster updates, trade rumors, in-depth player analysis, Dodgers trivia, you name it. Whether it's a wild walk-off at the Ravine, a key call-up from OKC, we've got the insight, we got the coverage, and we're here for you all year long. We're the #1 Dodgers site on every platform, and we're born and based in LA. We're loyal to the soil. Dodger baseball is what we do. Trusted by tens of thousands of daily listeners, Dodgers Nation is more than just recaps. We are LA. Whether you're in Echo Park or out in the Valley, Beverly Hills, whatever it is, if you bleed blue, this pod's for you. The more you guys subscribe, the bigger we can build, and we can do this together. So stay up to date with our Dodgers Nation post-game shows and breakdowns and podcasts. You can listen while you're lifting, while you're in traffic, or while pretending to answer work emails. We won't tell. Subscribe now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your baseball fix. So if you're a new listener or a longtime listener of the podcast, write us a review and we'll read it on the show. Join the conversation, stay ahead of the game, and never miss a pitch with the Dodgers Nation Podcast Network. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, #1 Dodgers podcast, the Dodgers Show on YouTube. Got some comments down below. Jason 999 super chat. Yo, D-Mac, why in the hell would the Dodgers move Emmet Sheehan off the roster when he pitched a stunner last week? When they know we need pitching, why pitch him in the bigs, but then send him down? Well, it's a very clear-cut answer here. One, it's the buildup. They wanted to get him more innings, more pitches. I talked to a Dodgers coach at Dodgers Stadium and said that this was a plan that was formulated weeks in advance. And then on top of that, Justin Robleski has been earning more opportunities. He pitched extremely well the other night. His fastball velocity's up. The strikeouts are up. He's given them some good run. And then why would you want to pitch a guy in Colorado? And then Kansas City is another option, but they want to think big picture for Emmet Sheehan. They got exactly what they were hoping to get out of him yesterday in OKC, and they still want to build him up. And it's as simple as that, and they want to put him in positions to be successful because, hey, clearly the pitching has worked out, right? Yamamoto pitched well, Robleski did his thing, and today you have Clayton Kershaw. So that is the plan for Emmet Sheehan, and it's working out. We got Samuel Smith, Betson, Freddie home run today, and 8 Ks from Kersh, a shoey. Okay, I'll give you that one. That's an easy one. If But you guys are gonna send me. I mean, come on now, man. But look, if Kersh gets 8 strikeouts, I'll do a shoey. But for a Mookie and Freddie, that's disrespectful to them. Let's be honest. For me to throw a shoey just for a Mookie and Freddie home run, no, those guys are better than that. Maybe multi home runs for those guys, but we'll get the 8K for a Kersh. I got to get maybe the Kershaw beer. I think I got one from years ago. Hopefully it's still good to drink. I won't even look at the date. If I get sick, I get sick. But I got my Kershaw beer from years ago. And I don't know if it's expired, but I'm not even going to look. If he gets 8Ks, I will sip that thing. I don't care. All right. Wait, and by the way, we got designated Twitter later. Noel's got some tweets, the best of Dodgers social media cooked up for us. Max JP, 3-year deal for Muncy. Let's go Dodgers. Michelada Poppy, D-back. What do you think of the high school of the Hesson Kim hitting leadoff? Michelada Poppy. I mean, I think if you bat him 9th, he's almost a second leadoff hitter. I think if I'm going to move anyone to the leadoff spot, it would be Mookie Betts because that's where he's thrived throughout his career, and he'd see better pitches. He'd see more pitches to hit with Shohei Ohtani behind him. So I think that would be the first move. But I think that Hesson Kim does have the tools, someone that can hit for contact, get on base at a high clip, dynamic base runner. He has all the tools to be a really good leadoff hitter. If he was on most teams around Major League Baseball, that's probably where you would see him. Parker Lee, forget skiing. I want Jacob Mizrowski. Kid, yeah, that guy's a beast, but he is not going to do that. Joseph H. Shoeys are actually just an excuse for D-Mac to show off his shoe collection. And look, honestly, those Jordan 4s are in a rough spot this morning, man. Those. Someone, what do you got? You got someone on the thing called Jordan 440 or something. It was good times, but those are in a bad spot today. But all right, guys, it's Thursday. Let's get into some Dodgers rumors.
Dodgers rumors roundup.
All right, so this first rumor we'll get into is from yesterday. Joe Kelly, Dodgers legend, was on foul territory, and he reiterated what he's been saying this entire season, and that is that if he was ever going to come back, it would only be for one team, and that team is the team that you can guess.
Will you sign with the Dodgers? Because they play the Padres again in August. So you could front hip somebody, and then you could go, what was it? Who was it that charged you that time? And you're like, come on, let's go.
Oh, Tyler Austin.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because their rivalry is intense, right?
I've
been known to throw one at, close to people the last few times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I made it known, which is people would say it's bad for marketing, but I could give a crap. I come back healthy. I'm only playing for one team, and that's the Dodgers.
So you love that. You got to give him some love for that. And he has been saying that really this entire offseason. Said that a ton of different times. And look, he's made it known. And the thing, though, for Joe Kelly, he's got a couple things working against him as far as the Dodgers re-signing him. And that is, one, he has no options. So if you did bring him back, he has to stay on the big league roster. They like guys with some flexibility. Look at the moves they made today, sending Will Klein down, and you bring Luis Garcia up. But the positive news, though, is that he is getting healthy again. And that has been the big question mark for him this season, is could he get healthy and give it a month or 2 months and then I'll let go. But like I said, the throws have been great. So he's saying that he can get back to being healthy. And look, I will say that for a player that still has some ability left and can certainly help teams, especially when you consider the fact that pitchers have been dropping like flies in Major League Baseball. Joe Kelly is someone that if his agent worked the phones and he was desperate to get work, that there would be teams giving him opportunities. So for him to say he'd only pitch for the Dodgers, that's got to be not what his agent wants to hear. But hey, he's made this decision. I mean, he's 37 years old. He can do whatever he wants. He hasn't been as good last couple of seasons. Last year in 2024, 32 innings, pitched in 35 games, posted a 4.78 ERA, 5.11 expected ERA. The strikeouts per 9 was down from 13.73 to 9.84. But it's Joe Kelly, and if you did suffer multiple injuries and you need a guy, he wouldn't be the worst option. So I'm just going to say there's more than a 0% chance. There's more than a 0% chance because the Dodgers are always sniffing around for pitching. If injuries pile up, Kelly knows this organization. You can plug him in. Would be awesome. Can you imagine how electric that would be to see him go against the San Diego Padres? Can you imagine that? Him versus Machado. I mean, it would just be electric in that series for whatever reason. So love me some Joe Kelly. I really think he's one of the great once a Dodger, always a Dodger type guys, throwing at the Houston Astros the way he did. So that was pretty awesome to see him say that. Daddy Warbuck says Joe Mariachi Kelly is representing eating that torta. Yeah, how about that? Eating that torta. Noel, what was he eating there? Any theories as to what he was eating there?
I'll say he was having some rice and some ground beef, just trying to stay healthy, get ready in case he gets that phone call.
That's a good point. He is always looking like he's pretty lean, making good choices. It looked like he was wearing an In-N-Out shirt. But it couldn't have been In-N-Out because it was like a spoon thing, right? You don't eat. Last time I checked, you don't eat a burger with a spoon.
So on the Kelly thing, it's pretty interesting too. I didn't listen to the interview, but I did see that the day he got his World Series ring, he was doing a Sportsnet interview, and he was saying that he was gonna pull up later to like work out at the stadium, like in a couple weeks. So I don't know if he was trolling, but that was something.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Dodgers are a team that they have a strong relationship with him. It wouldn't surprise me if there was some type of communication where at the very least you could kind of give him a look like that. I mean, usually a pitcher in his situation that wants to pitch and has a history of being a dynamic high leverage reliever, you have a showcase and teams come out. So he clearly is not going to do that. Maybe he's going to do a showcase just for the Dodgers and say, hey, please sign me. At this point, I'm pretty sure he'd work for free. I'm pretty sure that he'd pay the Dodgers to pitch for them, it looks like. But next, let's talk about Sandy Alcantra. And the reason why I have to bring up Sandy Alcantra is, yes, ESPN linked the Dodgers to him, saying that the Dodgers are a fit. That's nothing special to me because it feels like every publication is always going to use the Dodgers for that. But the news on Sandy Alcantra isn't necessarily about the Dodgers showing interest in him, but a team that could impact the Dodgers if they acquire him, and that is the Chicago Cubs. So the Cubs are having a really good year. They're right up there in the National League. The Dodgers saw firsthand Pete Crow Armstrong. They went to Wrigley Field. It was early in the season. Cubs look good. Cubs have the second best record in the National League at 47-33, 2.5 games behind the Dodgers. And the rumor today is that the Cubs are interested in trading him. So the Cubs, they're on the hunt to make additions to their rotation. And it's been widely reported that they're interested in adding not just good arms, but great arms if they become available. Their president of baseball operations, Jed Hoyer, has not kept it a secret. And Alcantara could be the number one target for them. And he's looked a lot better of late. He's really started to turn things on. He had a rough start to the season. He had an 8.47 ERA through the end of May. The strikeout rate was at 16.9%. That's low. A 12.2 walk rate. That's high. But since then, he's really started to turn it around. His last 23 innings pitched in his last 4 starts, he's allowed 7 runs, given up 18 hits and 5 walks with 19 punch-outs. So the strikeout rate is climbing up. Not explosive, but that's not what he does. He's really a ground ball pitcher. Gets you to pound to the ground. Strikeout rate is up to 20.4%, but the walk rate has dropped down to 5.4% in those starts. He's posted a 2.74 ERA in that stretch, and the 46.4% ground ball rate is trending in the right direction. Now, when he was at his very best, when he won the Cy Young a few years ago, that ground ball rate was at 53.4%. So if you get his ground ball rate to above 50%, then you're really starting to see the Sandy Alcantara that was one of the best pitchers in baseball. And other positive sign for him too is that fastball velocity has still been good. It's still been consistent with where he was when he was at his peak. He's averaging 97.6 miles per hour in his last 4 starts on his fastball. It's down a little bit from the 98, but still, that's really close. If you put him in a high pressure situation with adrenaline in a contending team, I think you easily get up to 98. So if the Cubs get Alcantara, the Dodgers might have to face him in the postseason. So Bob Nightingale, friend of the show, he reported a few weeks ago that, quote, the Dodgers, who have plenty of prospects, are one of the teams lurking for Sandy Alcantara. But right now, I think they're in a holding pattern, waiting for their guys to get back. Will they get Tyler Glasnow back? Will they get Blake Snell back? Will Roki Sasaki provide anything this season? Is Emmet Sheehan the guy that we talked about in the last segment? Someone that can be an impact pitcher for them. Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, Clayton Kershaw. And how does he look? Yoshinobu Yamamoto, does he stay healthy? So they have questions with their rotation. Andrew Friedman has said that they are confident these guys are going to come back and fill out this rotation. But there's also the wild card of Shohei Ohtani. Do you need to use Shohei Ohtani? We talked about it yesterday. I think this organization is going to use Shohei as much as they feel they need to. But if you are interested at all with Sandy Alcantara and you got the prospects to pull off a deal to get him, well, then the added benefit is that you keep him away from a potential contender that you could face down the line. And what makes him enticing is not only do you get him for this year, but you get him for multiple seasons after that. So would the Dodgers be in a position where you trade for a win now piece, guys stay healthy, and then, oh my goodness, it's an embarrassment of pitches. We might have to trade some of these guys. Do you trade a Gonsolin? Do you trade one of these pitchers that fell out this rotation if you were to get him in a dream scenario? Because his contract, he's under contract for 2026, has the team option for 2027. So that gives any team that trades for him 2.5 years of team control. He's earning $17 million this year and next year. And any team that trades for him is going to hold a $21 million club option for the 2027 season. So if you get ace level production, that is a very valuable contract. So I don't think right now, if I had to bet on it, they're going to trade for Sandy Alcantara. I think that multiple injuries to their starting rotation would have to start that conversation. But it's still something to monitor because what you needed to see from him this season to make him a viable trade target, you're starting to see. Because the Dodgers, they're not going to go out there and make these big moves unless they're for impact guys that are better than the guys currently in their rotation. And right now, Sandy Alcantara, you can make the case that, yeah, he could be better than some of the guys they currently have. But then again, it's kind of insane. I mean, what other team in Major League Baseball would even consider trading for Sandy Alcantara when you got Snell, Glasnow, Yamamoto, Shohei, Kersh, Sheehan, all these guys, right? The Dodgers are the one team that is crazy enough to do it because they're so committed to winning this season. But something tells me that once we get near the deadline, that probably the Dodgers will still be lurking. But the number one thing that you need to know is they feel confident their guys are going to get back. So let's continue to monitor those guys that are getting back. And if you trust that they will, well, that's ultimately going to decide this. And I hope that we're in a position where they're not having to trade for Sandy Alcantara. But if they have to trade for a starter, he's the guy that will be number one on my list. Okay, so those are the rumors this week. Nothing too insane, but got to keep you updated, guys. Trade deadline's right around the corner. And coming up next, one of my favorite segments of the week, Designated Twitter, the best of Dodgers social media. But first, if you have not yet, go to www.gearup.la, the official merchandise store of Dodgers Nation, and pick up this new Big Dog Andy Pages shirt designed by ours, Mr. Noel Sanchez. This is a fire t-shirt. I mean, this is just a great t-shirt. This is, if I was a Padres fan, I would wear this. It's that sick. I mean, you got the dogs, You got Pages, cool animation, and that's his nickname. And let's get into the All-Star game. Another multi-hit game yesterday for Andy Pages, but lots of great t-shirts. The Yamamania shirt, he had a fantastic appearance yesterday. Didn't get the run support, got the rain support, and was able to get back on track. So this is an awesome shirt. The Rookie of the Year shirt. This one, we're going to change to the Rookie of the next year, but still, honestly, a fire t-shirt. I love the Japanese flag in the middle of it. Roki Sasaki, the Comet shirt. This is probably my favorite shirt of the year. Love this one. Love Haesung Kim. We're going to try to get him on the show. He's been dynamic. People love him, and we love him. And yeah, that's just an awesome t-shirt. So go to www.gearup.la, get some merch. Got to see your comments. Got a $4.99 super chat. Who's the biggest threat in the National League West? I think the Giants. You picked up Rafael Devers. You had good pitching. I think the Padres, they're solid. The depth is not as good. And we kind of saw that the Dodgers kind of own them. But the biggest threat to the NL West is injuries. That's the biggest threat. I mean, that's just, let's be honest. That's the biggest threat to this team is injuries. If you stay healthy, this team is going to win this division by 5 games. I mean, just period, point blank. That's how good they are. They should run away with this division if we're being completely honest. But if I had to pick between the Padres and the Giants, I'm going with the Giants. SF. Hopefully it'll be season finished before we know it. But let's get right into our next segment. It's Thursday. You know what that means? That means time for Designated Twitter.
Designated Twitter, the best of Dodgers social media.
Perfect. All right, here we go. We got producer Noel Rock with his social media superstar. DMAC game is about to start. Yeah, we're going to run through this really quick. All right, let's do it. We've got our first one, Dodgers Nation. Today's Dodgers versus Rockies game didn't start on time today, and Shohei Ohtani, Dave Roberts, and the rest of the crew started trolling. Yeah, this is funny. Hey! Let's go. He wants to start the game. Dave Roberts, Shohei, running, smiling. What a star. I love when he sprays his bat, by the way. There you go. I love it. I can watch that all day, Noah, when he sprays his bat. That's the aura. That's when you see the aura, right?
That's classic.
I love when he sprays the bat. Okay, what else we got? We got to Oklahoma City Comets. Emmet Sheehan brought the goods to Sacramento. 6 innings, no runs, no hits, 13 strikeouts, no walks. In other words, 6 perfect innings. Awesome. See what else we got here. Dodgers Muse. Yeah, Mookie Betts last 15 games, 10 for 59, 169 batting average, 10 hits, 6 RBIs. What should the Dodgers do with Mookie? Yeah, let us know. Let's keep it moving. We've got, I like some Doyers Dave with the classic meme of Muncy. I love that one. I'm so over seeing posts about Arenado Muncy thing. Like, shut up already. Yeah, Arenado who? Yeah, Muncy with the glasses. Classic. That's great stuff. All right, what else we got here? Goodwill finds. Wow, look at this. This is from Alex Dodgers _Alex Goodwill finds. We've got Clayton Kershaw, Corey Seager. Who else is there, Noel?
There's Trey Turner.
Is that Dusty Baker? It looks
Baker.
like. That's awesome, man. Everyone always posts that. They find like these Chase Utley. Those are some great finds in the original packaging at Goodwill. I need to go to that Goodwill. Probably gone by now.
They got to drop the address.
Got to drop the address. I love that. That's really awesome. Let's see what else we've got here. If Ellie De La Cruz was a Dodger, he'd have 2 million All-Star votes. I'm so serious. Yeah, tons of love there for Ellie De La Cruz. All right, what else we got?
All right, we got one more.
Last one here on, special event at Dodgers Stadium in 1981. Oh, how cool is this? We got the 1981 schedule. You got the special events. This is a really cool throwback. April 9th, you had opening day. You had a poster day. You had baseball card night. Batting glove day. They used to give away that batting glove, man. It was interesting. They have a jacket, camera day, fireworks night, ball day, old timers day, country music day, helmet weekend. It's all 1981 cap night, t-shirt night, team photo day, fan appreciation day. Man, you compare that to today. That looks like that whole year is basically like half of a month now for what the Dodgers do. But all right, guys, get to the 7th inning stretch, getting up to game time, get a couple in here. Heading up to this one.
The 7th inning stretch.
All right. We have got Camera Day Nice from AM Sanchez. Jose Aguirre, sign him just to hit Machado from Jose Aguirre. We got Matthew. Padres signed John Jones. Freddie needs Hayward. Nando 390. That's an interesting one. We've got Malachi. Make this quick, D-Mac. The game's starting soon. Yeah, we are a couple minutes away. Yeon Sumi, the way Paz and Muncy started the year, it's ironic how their numbers are better than Freddie and than Freeman and Mookie. Yeah, I mean, well, Freeman's is still above, but Mookie, yeah, Paz and Muncy do have better numbers than Mookie. Oh, Heasley, D-Mac better pick up some Pepto if you are dropping that Kirsch beer. Yeah. I'm not gonna look at the expiration date. I will crush it. Daddy Warbucks, bring back Joe Kelly. He has a fastball with Tatis's name tattooed on it. Wink, wink. I like that. That's a fire take. Michael Boyer, D-Mac, you should streak like in the old days. Michael Boyer, what are you talking? Hey, no comment. Dodger for life. Bob Connolly, how disappointed is Conforto not being in the lineup? He's got to beg Dave Roberts to get in the game to write out this series MVP. We don't know how long this will last. Go get him in, Doc Martin. Yo, D-Mac, Andy Paz needs to be an all-star. Not right that he's not getting more votes. Yeah, vote for Andy Paz, Malachi Ferreira. I love when baseball is on all day, but especially when the Dodgers play early. Yeah, there's something about an early game. Something about that early game for sure. Zion Robertson, Doug, are you going to attend the 2025 Sunset Run? I think we'll be there, right? Martin, yo, D-Mac. Yeah, absolutely. Samuel Smith, Miguel Vargas for All-Star Punches number. Bob Connolly, D-Mac's shirt could do its own podcast. Fantastic. Yeah, this is one of my favorite Rain Spoons. This is a 1998 original unworn. Shout out to, I forgot where I got this one. I think I got a gift, but yeah, this is one of my favorite Rain Spoons.
I think I saw it on Kohl's, actually.
Actually, no, this is one that goes for a lot for on eBay. Martin, we got to Anthony Smiley. As much as I dig Joe Kelly, who would have to get him back? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's not who would have to go. They wouldn't replace anyone in this bullpen with Joe Kelly. They would go to him in the event of an injury. Herman Huerta, are we having a shoey on Kersh 3K? So shout out. I mean, if it's 8K today, we'll talk about it. I think that if it's 3,000, I'll be at the game. If he doesn't get it today, that'll be hopefully next week against the White Sox. What if it's Miguel Vargas? I don't know how I feel about that. LSU with Jones, D-Mac, will you attend the All-Star game? Yep, looks like I'll be going to Atlanta. Mr. Classic, D-Mac never looks crinkled. Must always sleep well. Okay. I don't know. I didn't sleep that great last night. But all right, guys, running out of time. Noel, what time is it? Okay, 1 minute. Okay, let's go to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
Hits the ball to right field. She is gone.
So today for the walk-off, when you're watching Shohei Ohtani, pay close attention to how many runs he's scoring. He scored 2 runs yesterday, and he is on pace to absolutely smash the record for most runs in a season. It was the Dodgers' 81st game of the season. They're midway through the season, and right now, Shohei Ohtani is scoring runs at a feverish pace. He's on pace to score 158 runs this year. The franchise record for runs scored is 148, and that was done by a guy named Hub Collins. Shout out to Hub Collins, who did that back in 1890. It was the Brooklyn Dodgers' first season in the senior circuit of the National League, and that's still the franchise record. So it is a historic pace, and yes, last year was all about the 50-50, and for good reason. And this year, Shohei Ohtani, people were acting like, oh, he's not going to break any records. Everything's just going to be back to normal. But I just want to point this out. Not a lot of people talking about that. The runs that he's scored is plenty. He leads Major League Baseball, 79 runs scored this season. He led Major League Baseball with 134 runs scored last season. So Shohei Ohtani scoring runs at a franchise record pace, and Ohtani is tied for the second most runs scored through 81 games. So he has had some players in franchise history that have scored a good amount of runs through those 81 games. Babe Herman, Willie Keeler, but Shohei Ohtani is on pace to shatter the Dodgers runs record. But okay, guys, that's going to do it. Enjoy the game. Kershaw hopefully gets 8 Ks. Hopefully has a good start. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. How about this? Give me your prediction, Noel. How many for Kersh? Think it's 8K?
I'll say he gets the job done tonight.
Think it's the job
8.
done?
Give me 8.
Give you 8? Nice. I'll go 9K for Kersh. I'm crazy, but I'll just say 9K. But that's going to do it for this episode. My name is Doug McKain. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for